Hey guys, Dante here and welcome back to my channel, The Burger Thought. And welcome back to another Sunday night stream. Big shout out to Radio Nation on YouTube. There's the same playlist I was using last week, or at least part of it. It's a very long playlist. Not even a playlist, it's a very long video. And nothing was flagged yet. Nothing on YouTube or Twitch was flagged for copyright. So I think we found a new playlist of songs that we could use, and hopefully we won't get any surprises later on. Okay, let's do a quick test in the chat. Yep, that shows up there. That shows up there. Nicely done. Yep, just double checking all my stuff, making sure I can see what's going on in the world. So today, I was kind of thinking, what the heck am I going to do today? That was kind of what was going through my head. What should I draw? What should I draw? What should I do? So I figured we'll draw some demons, and particularly this little guy right here. So I'm going to be self-plugging. Plug. I am doing a bunch. I made a bunch of these little sculptures. They are kind of Japanese only in appearance. I'm not sure how well that comes across. There's a lot of glare from the light. This little Japanese only-esque demon with hands on the side like this. And he has a little tiny body because he fits inside of a bottle. I'm selling these at my next convention. Once again, that will be the New York Toy Con in Brooklyn. New York Toy Con, and then later on, Brooklyn Horror Con. So yeah, they call him demon in a bottle. So the little demon fits into a bottle. Hand sculpted, hand molded, and casted in plastic, and then hand painted. It's all by hand. So I figured I'll do some artwork of him. Maybe use it as promotional posters and paperwork at the booth. You know, that way people can see it from a distance. Let's see. Let's get into it. Just refreshing my my stream information on this side. In fact, you know what? Open up the card right there. Do. Okay, there we go. See, he's an ugly little bugger. Sculpted him in epoxy clay originally. The big problem was I sculpted the head at one point and the body separately. I had to make sure the body fit into the bottle. Then I had to glue the head and the body together perfectly, and then slide that into the bottle. And I was able to get the mold off of that. So I got the mold off of that. And as soon as I took it out the mold, the head and body fell apart again. So if I have to do a second mold, it's gonna be a bitch to do it all over again. I might have to like actually make a mold of a copy. You know, they say you shouldn't make a copy of a copy. It just screws with it. Yep, that's a pain in the butt. Okay. Trying to listen to myself on my secondary device, and every time I hit unmute, it freezes the video. You know what? I don't need to hear myself. I just need to make sure I can see the there we go. I can see the chat. That's the whole idea behind having that second video. You might hear double audio for a second. Hold on. You might hear double audio for a second. Hold on. Yeah, you're gonna hear triple audio now. Listen to that. Yeah, you're gonna hear triple audio now. Listen to that. Yeah, you're gonna hear triple audio now. Listen to that. Absolute chaos. Anyway. Okay. Let us begin. So I gave him this kind of snarling expression. He has like he has one eye bigger than the other. He's kind of surprised. He's like, huh? What's going on? Let me see. He has a big old head. Not yay big. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the... so I'm looking backwards, using the... taking the sculpture as a reference, as opposed to it being, like, the actual... Ping pong, who's texting me? Who's pinging me? I don't know, someone's pinging me. Yes, when I was first sculpting this, I didn't mean for it to become kind of like a Japanese only looking thing. But it just worked. It just kind of worked. He has a kind of classic Ninja Turtle, like, kind of Ninja Turtle toy looking teeth. By the way, the bottom jaw bends out. So, as is tradition these past this freaking month, we'll talk about the Owl House for a few minutes because, my God! Alright, so, you have you have all these shows, right? And I don't know, is that a thing now? I think it's really just animation that does it. Where you have like a mid-season finale. I really think it's just animation that does that nowadays. I don't know why it's a thing. But we all know why. Because studios get stupid and they're like, it's making us money, but we're kind of nervous about it because it could make us more money. So we're going to make it where you only get half a season worth of money to make this show. And I don't know what they did. I think She-Ra did that. I'm sure Game of Thrones did it. I think Game of Thrones probably took like a freaking didn't take like a 2-year hiatus. I don't know. I don't follow it. But just the idea of like a mid-season finale, and I'm like, in my childhood, I'm like, did that ever happen? Did I ever watch cartoons when I was little, and they just like straight up were like, okay, only half the season. When you get half the season, that's what we're gonna give you. And I don't know, I just find that so freaking weird, especially for a show that I don't know. when you're a fan of the show, you assume it's doing great. The ratings might be doing horrible. I'm assuming it's doing good. But yeah, they did the mid-season finale thing and then they're gonna shorten the third season, which I think is stupid as hell. And yo, hey Marvel man, good to have you. Good to have you. I'm just rambling about animation and how the industry treats animation. It's right up your alley, I would say. But anyway, yeah. So they're apparently gonna shorten the third season to like 6 episodes, but now they've cut the second season in half. So we're gonna have a hiatus between season 2A and season 2B. Then they're gonna shorten the third season, and everyone's like, well, if you're shortening the third season, does that mean you're not gonna have a 4th season? Like, what is the point of that? Like, tell the damn story. Let the writers tell the story. They pitch the idea to the company. They tell the company how long it's gonna take to make the story. Just let them freaking finish the damn story. But then you're gonna freaking rush it, and it just comes out. It comes out shitty. No, that just really bothers me. I kind of like stupidity behind like how certain it's like, and once again we don't know what really causes it. Don't worry, folks. I just got the okay. I could continue rambling. According to J Marvel Man, I could continue rambling. Now I know. Now I'm safe. But I was gonna say, like, I don't know what causes certain, like, especially in terms of animation, like what would cause. Back in the day, it was all about the toy line. Like, your toys are not making money, we're gonna cancel you. Nowadays, not so much. You don't really. There's a lot of shows that do very well and they don't make toy lines for them. So with that being said, it's like, what's your deal? Like, why would you greenlight a show for a certain amount of seasons and then just cancel it if the ratings are doing well? Because from what I know, the ratings are doing well. Like that's something I just don't understand. Should I actually give him the right amount of teeth? It needs a freaking demon. Should I care about how many teeth he has in between? Right now we're just doing, of course, the basic sketch. But yeah, anyway, that's my ramble. Just like, they make a show, let them finish the damn show. You know, if it's tanking, I get it, it's tanking, they want to try and... But at the same time, like, what, do you have 6 more shows in your pocket ready to go? Like, let's be honest. You know, I'm sure they, you know, these companies, they have a game plan for shows in advance. But in the end, it's like, if this show's not doing well, let it run this time slot and let it finish. Because the other option is literally just to fill in that gap with like reruns of some other show. What are you gonna do? Like 57 more episodes of freaking Teen Titans Go? Just let the show run its gap. Like, let it play. When it ends, you can put whatever you want in that time slot, please. You already have your Disney Plus and all that. Like, you're not losing that money. In fact, the show is on Disney Plus, so it airs on like regular Disney and then Disney Plus. So you're obviously still making money off of it somehow. But yeah. I still stand by it for being a really good show. You know. I'm not gonna go into a thesis about LGBT representation, yada yada yada. You know, it's a good show in general. It's just a good show. Heaven forbid we have a good show that just like actually has unique characters, and you know, and yeah, it did. I feel there is a thing. This is what I call it. There's what a show is about and what a show does, and there is a difference. There is a major difference between what a show is about and what it does. So how would I put this? Steven Universe. This guy's face is too sponged. Steven Universe is a show about a boy who inherited his magical powers from his mother and is now working side by side a bunch of other magical individuals to save the world. That's like the really bare bones of it. That is what it does. So no, that's what it's about. What it does is represent all forms of love. Familiar, like romantic love, familiar love, platonic love, unrequited love. Where is this store? Skew. Is it Skew? I think it's Skew. Nope, Skew does this. I'm not trying to wiggle it back and forth. There we go. There's an independent scale. There we go. I just need to stretch his face out a little bit more. Okay, that's great. But more on the point. So like the Owl House, you know, what's it about? Nerdy girl gets transported to a magical world where she now trains to learn how to be a witch. She gets transported to the demon world, and now she's training underneath the eccentric witch, the Owl Lady, to become a great witch. Adventures ensue. Yeah. That's what the show's about. Girl gets transported to a magical world, teams up with an eccentric witch, wishes to become a powerful witch in this demon realm. What the show does: introduces a main female character who is Hispanic. Introduces a main character, female character who is Hispanic, who happens to be bisexual, which is not beaten on their head. She's introduced nicely. Introduces other characters of different nationalities. Yes, I know they're not all human, but they obviously represent like people of color, people who are Asian, etc., etc. And breaks several major tropes, because even though she's in a magical world, she is not like, it's not what she expected. It is not as her mother put in the recent episode, it is not a witch fantasy. Like, she has to realize that, yeah, sure, these are witches and demons, but these are regular people. They go to school, they have jobs, and you know, like, she's not a chosen one. There's actually an entire episode dedicated to the fact that she is not a chosen one. She's just some girl who stumbled into a freaking magical portal, is now here in the demon world. Demons. And how, like, it's not like in every single isekai where the person who gets transported gets to live this fantasy because the world works just like a video game and therefore he's amazing at it. It is not that, thank God. Can't stand that stupidity where it's like, welcome to the demon world, but it works just like a video game, so nothing's really important here. And, you know, that's what I like about the show. It knows that needs to break some tropes without, like, insulting them. They're not trying to insult the tropes. It's just showing you that, like, real life is different. Even magical real life. That's cool. It is very cool. Hold on to. proportions look a bit weird to me. I think the whole jawline is way too low. That's what it is. Deselect. See the sculpt I did, you don't see his top teeth. It's like that. So let's see if we could do some corrective surgery here. Hello and welcome to the stream. Sorry, it's stupid. Lollipop, lollipop, ooh, lolly, 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 lollipop. Pop, pop, pop. Alright, where was I? You know what? We are going to not cut and paste, copy and paste. New layer, where's the new layer? There we go. Cut and paste. Let's erase these. Nope. Deselect. Let's erase these top teeth. Then we grab this guy. That's it. Yeah, because even the sculpt, his one finger is like right up to his eye. That looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. Now we're gonna put some hair on him, and that'll fill out Z gaps. So fun fact, the hair you're seeing like right here, that's just kind of cascading around the horns and everything. That was all done in truth to help with the molding process. Because I had to make sure there were no air bubbles, like nowhere where the air could get caught. So let's switch up. So why is everything selected? Deselect. So let's imagine I have this sculpture and I want to make copies of it. So after when I make the mold, I have to make sure there's an area where all the liquid can pour in. In this case, I added little toothpicks to each horn, and in the mold, the toothpicks are tunnels. I added other toothpicks to add airflow. That way there's no air bubbles. So what you have here, but like, see how this this one ear, come on, back it up, let's try that again. There we go. Red. So you see that ear right there? That ear has a big curve, and this curve right there could cause an air bubble. So once I sculpted the ears and the horns, I estimated to put some tunnels for the horns. I didn't finish drawing it, but this hair actually curves up to the horn, and this hair here and this hair here. So when it fills up with liquid goes gluk, wraps around, gluk, has a canal which is the top of the hair, has a canal which is the horn straight up. What about this area here? Well, because the hair is slanted up on the horn, upward, same thing on this side. Oh, there's that air bubble, but luckily I put some hair here, and the hair allowed the liquid to flow all the way up, and that's how I got everything to go without any air bubbles. On a side shot, the nose, even though the nose looks super rounded like this, on a side shot the nose is actually like that. That's the nose. It has a slight taper to it. So once again, water flows up, or the resin flows up and flows with the nose all the way up to the horns and straight out. And these are the things I had to figure out when learning how to make molds. Where are the air bubbles? How do I get around them? And just to be safe, I also added toothpicks to just about the ears as well. That was more for airflow. So when I would pour in the liquid, let's say here, let me switch to like green or something. The liquid would flow in. let's say through these ports, giving air a chance to flow out through these ports until the whole thing just goes and fills up. The whole thing just fills up like that. And now I draw a penis. It's like you end every like whiteboard session with, and this is a penis. It's like a weird South Park reference, kind of. Sorry about that. But now you know. When doing a rubber mold around a sculpture, dump you. I dump you. I don't need you. Where was I? Back to blue. Give me a second. I got way too many layers open right now. I got all these little lines on different layers. Merge selected. Merge. Do that fusion dance, daddy. Do that fusion dance. There we go. Once again, just there you go. Just fill in that hair. Just once again, this. You know, your sketch, it all begins with the sketch. So the sketch still has to have some kind of shape and form to it. I'm just being loosey-goosey right now. Then he has little nails. His hair comes down right about there. He has little like hoof hands, little hoof claws. Because he is squeezing himself out of a little bottle. So I guess I'll just draw the body, and then yeah, we'll just go ahead and draw the little almost hold on, it's a little pot belly, almost like a fetus-like body. Just a little pot belly. And how did I do this? Oh yeah. So one leg is like kind of wrapped backwards. The other one has these little footsies. Just going light with the legs right now. Just going light. Because more detail will be added later. And then his tail is like this. Comes around. He is standing on it. Standing on his own tail like that. And it comes around again. And he has a little devil thing. There's one knee. And that's pretty much what he looks like. Yeah, it's pretty much what the little figurine looks like. So, God, why does that face still look too... You know what? It needs to be wider. The face actually needs to be, like, fatter. That's the issue here. So. Yeah, gotcha. Scaling. No. There it is. It's a broad face. That's better. Nope. Just deselect. There we go. Alright. So we're gonna put a pin in that. We are going to lock it, and we're gonna do some inking. Really, better define the face, and then I'll better define the body, and then we'll stick them in a jar. Technically, a bottle. These are called demon. These are called a demon in a bottle. That's what the product is going to be titled. You can check out the images of how I made it, the process of which on my Instagram. And once I make a good stock of them, they'll also be for sale on Etsy. Justin, there we go. Why is that so big? Sorry. Checking that. Alright. No, I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm going to try and find a midpoint between my really loose inking and my really sharp digital inking. I think we're going to try and be sharp with this. Let's get the teeth in there. That is not the pen I use. That's the pen I use. Thank you. Now this new playlist, I think, naturally has pretty low music. Yeah. So just let me know if my audio, my jibber jabber is kind of getting drowned out by the music. Just let me know if that happens. Try and do this one more time. Do not freeze on me. Hey! It didn't freeze. Nice. So I printed out a bunch of the. I printed out a bunch of the bookmarks from the last drawing I did, the everyday monsters, and I also printed out a nice big stack of the roughly business card size, playing card size actually, for the main monster from the game concept Kill It With Fire. Now, Kill It With Fire, it's all right now just conceptual. I have some artwork, I have the bug obviously, and I have the bugs like sidekicks, but it's still heavy conceptual in terms of like how it's gonna play out. But I think it's doable. I think it is doable based on the simple fact that a lot of it is kind of like D&D related in terms of how the gameplay works out, just in a more board game fashion. I will be promoting that by selling, hopefully, the little bookmarks. So yeah, hopefully Kill It With Fire will be the next. I think Kill It With Fire. I don't know if it's gonna be the next card game I release. I think the next one I'm gonna release, it will be Ascending Assassins once I adjust the color issues with it, like it's how it's not as bright as it should be. But once Ascending Assassins goes out, I think Kill It With Fire might be the next one that's ready to go, even though the artwork is far from ready. Because I have tons of artwork and stuff done for my other game of Frightful Forest, but that requires so much tweaking in the gameplay. I have no idea when it's going to be ready to go out. I want to keep the teeth looking that way, so let's do it. I just need a guideline to figure out where that bottom lip should be. There we go. Keep grabbing wrong. Forever and a day, when it comes to this program, I will continuously press P twice and selecting the wrong freaking pen tool. Earlier this week, I let the intern play some games on my PC, and he is thoroughly screwing up my score for Left 4 Dead. I'm not happy with him. He has timeout right now. But I do appreciate the fact that it adds to it does add to like how many hours I have on Twitch. So you know, it's good. It's good to have those hours clocking in, because then that adds to like the goals that Twitch gives you regarding like being a partner, being an affiliate, etc., etc. But that boy better pick up his game, because I was watching his stream, and he really sucks at that game. You would think the monster would be good at playing a monster character. Then again, that might sound kind of racist, so I'm sorry. Big old sausage eyebrow this guy has. In truth, the eye of the tiger. Kind of has a bit of a bend to it. I'm sure there's some plugin somewhere on Twitch that lets you see exactly who is how many people are watching. Not how many people, but who's watching. I know I've seen people with like tons of plugins on their screen. And I know Twitch actually advertises like, yo, try this plugin. You know, communicate with your community more. There's gonna be so many plugins and so many damn things on this in this stream alone. Gotta get the tip right. If you don't got that tip right, something's wrong. That is bugging the hell out of me, man. That is... What is going on? Dante, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Freaking... Fuck us. Fuck us, Dante. Good for now. Good for now. For now. I could just copy and paste it, but I'd rather not copy and paste the issue that's bothering me. He has these luscious, kind of like almost curly locks that is draped downward. But I feel like there should be a joke in here, like, you know, they say about men with big ears. What? Should I give him the Rick and Morty eyes? Just the... Like everyone's having a stroke in that damn show. Sausage fingers. I'm doing the fingers asymmetrical. Speaking of which, nope. Hold on, let me back up from here. Huh? Like he's looking around. Huh? What? like this music. I think. Well, that's not a good spot to connect. You see how it connects right there to the finger? That is not how you do that. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I like this music. I think we found the music we need. Funny enough, I've had like really weird songs stuck in my head lately. It's one of those things where you hear the song, you don't know all the lyrics, but you have it in your head, and like the only way to get rid of it is to actually find the song and listen to it. So, what is the song might be thinking? Believe it or not, it's from the Jetson movie. So if you don't know, there was a Jetson animated movie. I used to have it on VHS. I used to watch it all the time. It's not like it's, you know, amazing Don Bluth level, Disney level stuff, but it's, you know, it was a fun movie when I was a kid. I liked it. But the reason I mention it is because the Nostalgia Critic just did a discussion about it, and he said the same thing. It's a fine movie. It's freaking Jetsons. What do you expect? But it has like a lot of like 90s tropes in it, and there's like a straight up music video that stops midway through it. This freaking music video just kicks in. Primarily because the voice actress of one of the characters wasn't the original voice actress. She has a cameo apparently, but it was like just a pop singer at the time, whose name I forget, and yeah, she just has this song that kicks in partway through the freaking movie, and it just sticks with me. Alright, there we go. Let's clean up. Now, to be honest, this part, I'm not sure how I'm gonna show it digitally. I'm not sure if it's gonna be slightly obscured because it's inside of a jar, but I am gonna still give him. He needs a body. Let me just combine all these individual layers I have. But first, my dear viewers, save! Somebody save me. Okay, where to put this file? Like a new file or what? You know what? All my resin stuff, which include the white resin like claw, the white resin hand, and of course the deholder, they're all in one folder. The deholder's in one folder. But the folder itself is called the deholder toy. So it's just like he's like a blanket. So I am gonna go ahead and make a folder inside there just for the demon in the bottle. Demon in a B. And this will be saved now. It's like promotional artwork. I need view ruler? No. Just to kind of, yeah, to help center when I draw that body. So guys have their own freaking layer. But this is different from the way Photoshop used to do it. I lock you. Actually found out one of the artists I really admire still uses Photoshop. I just, one day I turned on his stream, I called him, I was like, oh, what, he's doing the stream? And he was using Photoshop. I'm like, cool. I mean, I can't fault him, he does amazing stuff, so who am I to say what he can and can't use? Oh, no. No, 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 no. We are not having that, my friend. Is that what that does? Whenever I'm moving objects in Photoshop and I hit snap to guide, the image itself kind of clicks into place. Right now, with snap to guide on, it was the drawing pen that did it. That's the difference. That's the difference I've been trying to figure out in this app. Like every time I'd open up a window and say, and click snap to ruler, snap to special ruler, snap to grid, it wouldn't snap. And I realized it's not when you move the image and the image snaps, it's the actual artwork you're drawing. Okay, now I know. Stay with me now, kids. Knowing is half the battle. He has a little pudgy belly button. He's a fat boy. He's a fatty fat boy. Clean that up a little bit. He has little heavy hoofs. Heavy hoofs. His tail. It's a very long tail. It just wraps all around. Trying to get this angle right of his freaking. His other foot is kind of like leaned back. There we go. Alright. Found and save that. Hey Red, good to see you. Butt's falling asleep. Yeah, this is not the best art table. Okay, let us take away the blues and the guide for now. He's meant to be he's meant to have a little pot belly. So let's do an undercurve, shall we? Once again, wrong ink button. Alright, so I think we got the main gist of we've essentially recreated the figurine. Now, the question is, do I well, it's not really much of a question. I kind of had the answer already, but I want to show off some stuff. So, do I approach this with the color pencil shading, the more organic shading I did like on the ghost characters and the ones I've been using for like I used for Spider, Or, and I think I might go for this instead, should I... Where are you? Go more for... Oh, that's not the right picture. There we go. I can just do the basic kind of cell shading, basic two-tone shading, like this guy. Or like... Or like him. Just very, very light pencil shading, light faded shading where the two colors meet. But basically cell shading. I think I might just go for cell shading. Don't save. Ink. Layer. Label your layers. Label your layers. You'll thank yourself later. Right. So first things first, magic wand. And it's not the magic wand. Is it W for wand? Wand, W. I'm just gonna grab big sections of it right now. Alright. We're gonna start with the basic red Oni. Red demon, people, red demon. Oop, there's a spot right there under his eye. Doesn't matter, we'll catch it later. Let's zoom in. Yeah, I like that wand. It definitely grabs all the corners pretty damn well. That's the worst, when you select something and you use a bucket tool or whatever, and there's always a little pixel thin layer right between what you selected and what you didn't select that just screws up the color. You gotta go around and do all the edges because of it. Alright, best of luck with that, man. Best of luck. Alright. Let's do lighting coming from the top, our top right. This is basic lighting. That's dark pencil. I'm gonna give it something with a slight... In Photoshop, there was always a tool, in the pen tool, the brush tool, that had a slight softness to the edges. Let's try dark pencil. That works, yeah, it works. I'm kind of liking the way these inks and the general drawing came out. Kind of like a tattoo feeling to it. Like you would definitely see this on someone's arm. This is dark pencil. I like it. It works well. Hopefully I'm coming across clear on the phone. Okay, so this is pen. This is just gel pen. This is dark pencil. Yeah, the gel pen has a bit of a pixelation to it, most definitely. Also, Red, I was telling Jay Marvel, before the night's over, I'm gonna buy tickets for Saturday for Brooklyn Comic Con because I just need to get out and do something. It is a convention, so I don't know how crowded it's gonna be. So I know everyone's still a little careful with the crowds, especially because we keep getting different news about different variants and everything coming up. But yeah, I'll be going to Brooklyn Comic Con on Saturday. And to everyone at home watching, you now know where to stalk me. But yeah, I don't know if you're down to meet up for that for a bit. Oh, hold on. Sorry, let me read the chat real quick. Okay, so first statement. Red, and to those of you who don't know, but Red especially, Red knows where I stand with Evangelion. Like, I respect the artwork, I love the music. I just could never get into it because I don't know. I just couldn't stand the main character. And I've ranted and raved about it, and I've apologized to Red because no one likes hearing a show that they like get ragged on. I don't mean to rag on it. Something about it bothered me. I think it is mainly just Shinji and the fact that the same reason I can't watch Seinfeld. Sometimes I just want to punch a character in the face, and it's not him. I want to punch his father. I just want to punch the character, and I just can't bring myself to watch it because I just get more frustrated watching it. But once again, it's iconic for a reason, and I've been hearing people talking about it and saying how much they like the movie. However, I don't know where the movie sits in terms of continuity, because I know there was Rebuild and then there was something else, so I'm not too sure how the continuity works in regards to the original series. You, Red, will have to remind me about that and get into it later, because I do want to hear your opinion about it. I want to, if you're saying it's really good, if you're saying it's good, I want to hear about it. No. Don't drop anything in the chat. when we meet, we'll talk about it. Don't drop anything in the chat. You said it was a good series. I mean, you said it was a good movie. You said it brought you to tears. That's all people have to know. Don't drop anything in the chat right now. Don't do that. Brooklyn Comic Con, BKCC. I believe it's next week. I believe it should be next week, right? Let me see. Either that or it's the week after. And I'm yeah. August 21st and 22nd. So apparently there's like there we go. Apparently there's tickets for Saturday scheduled from 12 to 7 and then 7 and on. I think maybe 12 to 7 is like Artist Alley and then they're going to be having other stuff. If it's the same as like previous years and if it's the same as their website indicates, there'll be some wrestling, there'll be cosplay, there'll be fun. It looks like it's going to be fun. Once again, read the chat. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Rebuild is its own. I guess with nods to the original series. Kind of like Mad Max Fury Road. It's its own thing, but it's like, so you can make connections to the original series. But the movie you're talking about, is it part of the Rebuild subgenre? Or is it like, is it a new movie meant to connect to the very original as close as possible? Okay. So the first movie was like a refresher course. I'm always iffy about that. I'm always iffy about clip shows, as they call them. Okay, I like that. It's kind of like what they did with the Star Trek series. Like, so the first movie is like everything you need to know. Second movie is like what if. Right now, just filling in the craters of his nose. Oh, what's that line from It's one of the lyrical lines from Rapunzel. Sniff something my extra toes and a goiter for a nose. It's when she's singing in the bar. Wait, is the third the final? Oh no, oh you mean that's a fourth one that like finishes in morph. But once again, like, so are the movies all their own thing? And then the most recent one you saw part of that, or the most recent one you saw can be attached to the original series? Because it's kind of like what they do with the DC animated movies. They do them in chunks. So like for the past few years, they've all been connected through the Damian Wayne storyline. So like they did several movies that were like about the Damian Wayne and Batman family, and then they did other movies outside of that, like the Teen Titans, but with that Damian Wayne. Like they actually do sub universes in their movies, which means the next who knows, the next animated movie from DC will be its own sub thing altogether. .0 plus 1.0 twice upon it. What is that? This is some Kingdom Hearts bullshit right there. Oh god. Once again, if you said it's good, I gotta check it out. Once again, my gripe with the series is just the frustration. It's the frustration of watching these characters. When I did watch it many years ago, watching these characters, I felt not grow. Like no one really grew. No one really understood. It was just trauma. And Dad and I'm a sucker for a happy ending. Like not everything has to be, you know, puppies and rainbows, but something has to happen. Like what's the point of telling a story if everyone just dies and there's no point to the story at all? I mean, I guess it's realistic. And no, that's not what happens in Evangelion, I know, but that was my gripe. I just wanted more from the characters. Do something. Do something. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the rebuild films were their own little nugget. Yeah. Oh, like, and I remember what I said before about the Justice movies. Not Justice movies, not the Justice League movies, but the DC movies. How they used Damian as an anchor point, because it was like 3 movies about Damian and Batman and their family. Then it was like 2 movies about Teen Titans. It was a Teen Titan movie, but it was that Damian. Then there was one where I think it's called Justice League War, where everything goes to like hell. Quite literally, there's like Apocalypse itself just comes down and destroys everything. But I think it's the same Damian as those movies. Like DC kind of kept Damian as an anchor point for a while. Just trying to milk that money up for that boy. Woo! The confusing part is the navigation bar, the navigation box doesn't change when you turn it. So it's like you turn it sideways or you turn it whatever direction, and you should use the sliders to move around the screen because the navigation bar would not help you. Alright. Once again, flat colors. Might do a little bit of shading on the edges, you know, but we are sticking with the flat colors right now. Yeah, this isn't really too big. It's like 4x5, so it'd be perfect if I want to print it out and have some signage. Yeah, let's get back to me, man. Like, I want to go because I just want to explore at least one convention before I then do a convention. Actually, no. I think I'll be doing New York Comic Con and then I'll be doing my next convention. That's the wrong tool. No. What is that? No. Okay. Thank you. Did a film test yesterday. What do you mean? Like, this is a new laptop, or you're trying to, or you're adjusting the laptop you have now because of a test you did yesterday? Like, we made a little film test. Talk to us. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm turning to the side to read the chat. Sorry. Uh, um, mean like a physical stabilizer, or like something to use like in camera, like an app that like helps the footage look funny. Not funny, that is. Let me see. Do the film test. Oh, I forget. Don't you already use your phone as a face cam, or do you? I forget. Do you use your phone as a face cam, or do you use your laptop as a face cam? I forget. Okay, if you use your phone, I used Droid Cam. That's what I use. I use Droid Cam on my phone. Droid Cam is a lifesaver, man. Like, it captures well enough from what I need, and it saves me from buying overpriced digital cameras, which are right now in trend. The overpriced digital cameras. It's okay, dude. I asked too many questions. You know me. I asked too many questions to begin with, so it's not you. It's me. I figured it was that. I figured you meant like it's a physical thing. I wasn't sure if the bad footage was camera related or because the camera was moving too much. I mean, funny enough, so I don't know if I've said this. What I use, my phone. So my sister once gave me a selfie stick. She was like, "You have this selfie stick. I don't use it." I go, "Cool, I take it." selfie stick breaks automatically. I mean, the extending part works fine. It's the little nut that allows it to pivot that breaks, but just enough where I can still pivot a little bit back and forth. So I stick my camera in that, and then I one day, because I'm a pack rat, find this weird clamp on the floor. It's like yay big, right? It's essentially a screw-on clamp with a C clamp on it. It's a basic C with like teeth. Like, it looks like whatever you jam in there is supposed to get caught. So I just attached the screw-on clamp to the back of my computer table, and the C clamp, I just jammed the rubber handle of the selfie stick into it, and it's kind of gripped right in there. And it's pretty much just like, it's literally just like an L shape coming out and going up and looking right at me just over my videos, just over my screen. So like, whatever works, man. If I shake the table enough, it'll wiggle. So whatever works, works. Once again, this reading. To those of you who don't know, I read very slow. I'm dyslexic, so everything I read super slow. The fun with the giveaway was at turn. Wait. It can turn for panning tracking shots because it was the first. Oh, that's cool. Damn you, Space Harrier! Damn you! That's cool though. So, that's cool though. So you could like, from a distance you could turn it back and forth. That works great if you're doing like podcasts with a number of friends. Just kind of turn the camera to like really focus on them when you can't get those like wide shots of everyone on the sofa or whatever. Speaking of film, yeah, it turns kind of slow. Yeah, okay. Dramatic turning. But speaking of like film stuff, brain fart. Sorry. Yes. What else have you seen? Have you seen anything else? And I don't mean like in the theaters, because you know there's like 3 movies right now that are only theater exclusive. But anything else? Like any cool Netflix shows you could suggest or whatever? I don't got Netflix. But any shows you could suggest I take the time to try and watch. Okay. I was just watching he's part of the York's cast. Tom Angor, I think his name is Angor Tom. I like him. He's a funny guy. And he had a guest. Her name is Boba. On the internet, her name is Boba, and they're playing together. So he's playing, she's sitting next to him, and midway through the game, she has to like stop because she's getting motion sickness watching him play. Let's go through these. Oh wow. Is it like, is the gist of the show that that's normal, or is it like everyone's freaking out because they're traveling to different dimensions? And 30 students, it's like an ensemble cast, I guess, right? Save. Save. Select that first. That's my base red. Oh wow. That sounds trippy. Cool. I mean, pretty much an adventure show like freaking Star Trek or whatever. Every episode is them dealing with a new environment. Every episode, but in this case, like you said, they develop abilities as they go. But it's a school. It's your typical like. It's the Star Trek scenario. It's an ensemble cast traveling to new worlds every time. I like that. That's actually really interesting. A show like that is really good as long as you set like the base rules of what they can and can't do. Even if they are developing powers and abilities, as long as there's like certain rules that follow them, that a show like that usually does well. Hoping that the next leap will be the leap back home. If you get that reference, you're a good person. Oh, that's the nasty orange color. Yeah, let's go for the brighter orange. When I painted this guy, I did not dull the white. I did not make the lighter spots pinkish. I made them orangey. So I kind of want to keep that in the drawing, of course. Cool. Anything he's done that I might know about? I know that's like a loaded question. Dang it. Stop erasing Dante. There we go. Man, that sensitivity is way too much. I still need to adjust the sensitivity. I keep forgetting to do that. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Let's scroll back in the chat for a minute. Let's make sure that. Oh wow, that sounds dramatic. Wow, that sounds cool, man. Once again, hoping that the next leap will be the leap back home. Fun fact, if you've never seen Quantum Leap, granted, I did not watch every single episode, but whenever I did watch reruns of it, I always liked it a lot. Fun fact, it does have an actual ending. Many shows do not have endings. Many shows just get canceled once they've run their course. And it's really philosophical. Like, the ending is, like, really cool. I mean, just the general... It's kind of set up at the very beginning, if you think about it, because... he's being told by a machine, or rather his friend, who is relaying the information, is being told by a machine, oh, if you jump here and help this person, you'll leave. And there's no scientific reason for that. Like, how does helping someone in the idea of, like, what is help allow you to jump through time? And, yeah. If you ever get a chance, watch that series. If you like sci-fi shows, they have a little bit of comedy and action and like heart to them, like just general heart. It's a good show. It's a good series. Remake Our Lives. That sounds cool. I like that title. Let me back up so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I like it so far. I think this I might stick on Instagram when I get a chance. I haven't updated my Instagram in a while. Well, correction. I have, just not with too much artwork. I need to update my DeviantArt because I've been doing more sketches than final works. So I need to update my DeviantArt for sure. I have to admit, at first I wasn't a big fan of the click button being the selection tool, the right click, but I've come to really like it. Because my old setup, the right click was automatically de-erase, and then before that I had a Huron tablet, really small, where you turn it around and that was the actual eraser. So it's, you adjust. First world problems. Oh, the pen doesn't click the way I want it to. Whatever. You know what show I need to definitely get back into, like catch up in, is Hero Academia. But it's funny because I just happened to come across it last night. I was up late, and like, it's as if nothing's changed because even though I haven't seen it, as soon as I turn it on, they're already like showing clips of previous episodes. I'm like, like, I love the show, but it has so much filler. Like if you cut out all the filler. You're a shiny boy. You're a shiny boy. Hold on. Check out the chat. Enter a popular video game. Wait, huh? Spotted guy. Oh, that first line, leaving your job to go somewhere else to then have that job get cancelled. Oh, I've known people that's happened to. It's horrible. Just the thought of it scares the hell out of me. Oh, that's cool, man. Oh wait, so let me see. Let me reread that. You see, he leaves the office job to attend a popular video game. After a big project gets cancelled, he is laid off. Yeah. Oh, that is cool. But like prestigious school, college, or it's a typical high school anime kind of thing. Because it also adds another level to it. You're not just going back in time to like follow your dream from your youth. You're also like reliving your youth, you know? Okay. Yeah, I get it. Like, it's the path that could have, would have, should have, right? I've lamented my jack of all trades, master of nothing. Because I didn't know better. I was like, oh, you could go to school for art? Cool, I'll just go for art. Fine arts. Fine arts makes you a jack of all trades, master of nothing. But I'm here, I'm streaming, talking to my friends, getting ready to sell stuff at conventions. You know, it's never too late to just find what you love and try and do it, you know? My dad tells me, you know, listen, he goes, you know, Dante, my dad's like, my mom's in her 60s, my dad is like entering his 80s, soon. Oh, he's in his 80s right now. Fact is, this man went back to school in like middle age, and he went back to school and got a degree as a teacher, and he was teaching real estate, and he had his own business. He owned his own business. He always shows me like the briefcase he has, that's like all the actual paperwork needed to officially own your own business. He go, you know, and you could do that stuff, man. It's not easy, but we live longer nowadays. And sometimes you have to sometimes you kind of have to get things settled out. Sometimes you got to get that job. That's a 9-to-5 job. As long as you don't hate it, you're doing okay. You know, my job is tough. I come home exhausted sometimes. Many times, in fact. But it pays the bills, and more importantly, it pays for stuff that I want. It paid for this computer I'm using. It paid for toys I bought. By the way, here's a tale to freaking Transformers Alicon, the alligator crocodile thingy from the Transformers movie. I gotta attach it to the toy. It pays for the material I need to make these little guys. You know, to make these freaking little demon head guys. The path not chosen will drive you crazy. And maybe they'll bring that up in the anime. Maybe they'll bring up the fact that it's not always the way you imagine it. Speaking of old school anime in general, slice of life. I guess you could call that a slice of life, even though it has a bit of a sci-fi fantasy feel to it of him jumping through time. I don't know why, but my YouTube channel, as we all know, you watch one video and they'll suggest the same type of video over and over again. But out of nowhere, my YouTube pages just got flooded with stuff from Interview of Monster Girls. That's the English, the one I really like because it breaks all the tropes. He's a professional teacher trying to help these girls. It's just, I love it. I love that anime because it breaks all the tropes. The girls are just innocent high school girls. They're not like anime girls with tits hanging around. The teacher is not obsessed with the girls. He's obsessed with helping them as a teacher. The guy sits down and smokes. It's like in his 30s or something, I think. And I love that. And it did end, I'm assuming, not the same way the manga ends. I mean, it ends on a good season finale kind of feel. Because it is a slice of life. It doesn't need a big shebang. And I'm happy with that. I'll be happy if they don't. I'll kind of be happy if they just never continued it. I'll be fine. But I do wonder if the manga is continued and where do they go with the manga? Where would you go with an anime or a story that ended, I think, pretty well? At least in the anime, anyway, it ended pretty well. But it's showing up everywhere in my freaking streams. Not my streams, my suggestions. Okay, so we got skin. We got the base skin, which I think is just fine for now. Might add a little bit of shading. That's pretty much the base skin. Two-tone shading. Why is that slanted? Do not be slanted. There you go. I'm just going to drop in some eye color real quick. Put on a different layer just in case. And then we might call it a night for now. Bright yellow. Yeah, I've mentioned before to Red Spectra. Interview with Monster Girls, I think, is a great anime because the description alone makes you kind of tilt your head. Male high school teacher becomes obsessed with 3 monster girls in his school and another teacher. The girls are a playful vampire, a quiet ice girl, a Dullahan who happens to be a bit more physically developed than the rest, not by a lot. It is just a description of it, and the other teacher's a succubi, and your first instinct is, oh, it's one of those animes, and then you watch and you realize it's not one of those animes. I think one of my favorite scenes that really defines it as not being what you expect is a scene where the teacher realizes that Dullahans are very leery about their bodies because their bodies are separate from their heads, and the fear of something happening to their heads separate from their body, it kind of bothers them. And more importantly, the girl herself is apparently traveling from far away. I don't know if she's meant to be Japanese or not, but she's the only Dullahan in Japan. So it's a really, really heartfelt scene where I don't think he offers it, but I think she asks as if he will hug her, and he goes, okay, I'll hug you. So he hugs the one girl because she wants to tease him, and she's like, Sensei, hug me. And then he goes to hug the Dullahan, and you get this split-second scene from his mental point of view where he could feel the body heat of her chest on his, the fact that she's a bit more developed than the rest of the girls. And it's a split-second, Predator, red and yellow, like the picture I'm drawing. like heat sensor of as like the heat builds up just on his chest, and he quickly lets go of her, and he's like, "That's enough for today. Goodbye." Because he's a fucking professional, and I love it. I absolutely love that. It's that's the wrong button. Yeah, it's in my opinion a really good series. I love it because it breaks all the tropes. It is so heartfelt. It could have easily gone a horrible way, but it didn't. There's also the small things like Dullahan. I think does develop like a crush on him, but like typical like sensei, not typical, but like kind of like a high school girl crush, and he's completely unaware of it, and she doesn't really tell anyone until later on that she kind of likes him. And I think the succubus also kind of develops a crush on him, but like professionally, like there's a reason why. Plus, the succubus is a trip, man. Like, she is just a woman who's had trouble making connections with people because of her power, because of her innate abilities. So, she's just like, she's funny. She's a fun character. I think in that same scene, she for splits in the same hugging scene, she for like a split second gets really like, or tries to be really sensual for a moment. She takes off her glasses and she bites the edge of it. And as she slowly approaches him for a hug, she then goes, "I want a hug!" Like she just like drops the veneer of like being this sexual like succubus character, and it's just like someone who desperately wants who wants to make a connection with a human being. She goes from like 0 to 90, but it's never like overtly sexual. It's just like it's just like I am woman and I need it. I am woman and I just want to hug someone. Go feed those gatos, man. Go feed those gatos. Adding just a pinch of pink around. There we go. What I need to do is drop some blue in the background. That is the wrong color. That is not blue at all, man. What the hell? That does look pretty sick, though. Look at that. With like a black background, that does look sick. I love the way that looks. Alright, we're gonna make it. There you go. We're gonna do a dull blue, just to have a curtain of color. Okay, eyes. Lock the eyes. Skin. Okay, let's go above the skin, and let's do teeth. Just gonna make them white for now, and then fill them in. And with that being said, skin. Where did I put that? Yeah. So the gums and eyes on one layer. Okay. It is just about 10:15. I'm kind of liking the basic progress on this. You know, for an art night in which I didn't know what I was going to draw, I'm happy I chose this. I'm just getting into the mindset of conventions are starting, get your stuff in order. Get the signage, do an inventory check of everything you have, even though it's literally the end of the year pretty much. Because I've learned, is that the ink layer? Yeah. I've learned that conventions that happen after the holidays in the wintertime, they don't do so well. Everyone's already spent their money, everyone's tired. So like, even though this is the start of my convention time, it's kind of the end run for another few months. Meanwhile, I've seen other people doing I mean, to be honest, all the conventions are happening right now. They all got pushed back. There's conventions in California. There's one in Long Island right now. Not the Long Island Retro Convention. That one I wouldn't have mind doing. It's a trip to get down there, but it would have been kind of interesting to like show off some of my old stock I have of game artwork. So this is not just gray, but gray on the brown tone. Like I kind of went to the brown tone on the little color wheel. Can you see that? Now you can see a little bit of it in the corner of the screen. That way it's just not freaking just white to gray. Just some kind of variant. Don't know how it will look when I print it anyway, but you get the idea. And I had to fight every urge to freaking just give him yellow teeth. It's a bit of an iffy in that ink layer. That eraser is way too big. Make it 6. Just want to smooth out this curve in the tooth. Well, I guess it'd be a tusk, wouldn't it? Nah, it's a tooth. Teeth. Nice, nice. Alright, so he's meant to have like pretty much blackish claws and grayish hair. You know what? Let's combine the teeth and the hair layer. Teeth and H. Hair. Hair? Yeah, just make it one layer. Lock that skin layer. Unlock that. Okay, double checking. Teeth. Above the skin. Skin. Where's that? I got some red in my, I mean, I'll flatten it anyway. But this, the eyes, wink, wink, wink. And the mouth and a few little bits of red on the nose got in there somehow. But good, everything's more or less sectioned off. That was quick, dude. Now, when I paint them, I usually just do the claws black. Whereas on the base black, I want to just try a little gray. We'll try gray. Then, you know what? Let's go a little bit darker. Like, yeah, here we go. Like a dark gray for the claws. And then really go black for the shading. In fact, there we go. How's my power looking? How the heck am I at 22% for my camera? The camera usually lasts a good amount of time. So what I tend to do, see, I use you can use a USB connection for the Droid Cam, but mine was just acting funny. I just couldn't get the USB connection to work. Plus, to be honest, this phone's old, and just trying to get the charge is one thing, let alone continuously have a USB camera plug in it. Anyway, so I use Wi-Fi. So I've learned ahead of time to turn the Wi-Fi on early before I start streaming. Because once the Wi-Fi is on, the phone is like, I'm going to update. I must update. It is my purpose. And it just slows down everything. So yeah, so I've learned to like give it time. It's my function. Sorry, just thinking about one of the most disturbing, one of the funnier quotes from a disturbing scene from a kid's cartoon. Right before the character dies, he screams out, "It is my function." Yes, they bring him back from the dead, but whatever. Once again, if you get the reference, you are a cool person. there is some spillover in this red layer I do not like. I'm gonna get rid of you. I'm gonna get rid of you. Good. Go back to that. Select. Fill. Fill them all. Fill. Alright. Guys, little hooves. Little baby hooves. Alright, so I'm gonna do this. Where's that ink? Where's my ink layer? Ink layer. Lasso wand W. Okay, we're gonna select all the hair areas. Nothing but hair there, people. Nothing but hair. And then, I mean, it's pretty much the same color as the, almost the same color as the freaking when I paint it, it's like a grayish color, almost the same color. So we'll just start with a light gray. So it's his hair is lighter than his hooves. So it's gonna flatten that, put it all in there. Alright, we're gonna deselect. Okay. So even though all we have left is the hair to do, that requires a bit more streaking, a bit more coloring. Why is that not filled up? That is not what I'm supposed to do. Go back. What have you done, Dante? What have you done? So I just want to get this last piece. So I'm not going to go to the shading of the hair right now, because it is already 10:27. My phone's about to die anyway. My phone's about to also set off an alarm saying, hey, it's 10:30, go to bed, you got work tomorrow, be an adult. I think I'm just going to right now do some quick erasing around the edges of the red, which is why we put this nice bluish color in the background. I just want to clean up some areas, clean that up. And then we're going to call it a night. This little Ken doll. Look at that dye gap. Look at that dye gap. Little Ken doll dye gap. Not a doll, I'm an action figure. God. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be much bleeding from one area to the other, so I think... Anyway. Okay. So. This is the demon in a bottle. Not in the bottle. So this is him in his general shape based on the actual sculpture I've done. This is what you get when you buy it. So I think we're gonna stop next week. We'll do the hair. We'll draw the bottle. We'll put a cork in his head because he has a little cork sticking in his head. And then maybe next week we'll also do something else in continuation with that, because it might not even take that long. But yeah, I think that'll be it for today, guys. So, Red Spectra, thank you so much for dropping in, man. It was good just chatting with you. J Marvel, Joe, also good talking to you before the stream and during the stream. And anyone else who tunes in the future for that fact, thank you as well. Per usual, these videos are on Twitch for the roughly 2-week run, and then permanently, quote unquote, on my YouTube channel. And if you're someone who prefers watching it on Picardo, I'm on Picado, but they don't get saved. In fact, I've gone a while without checking my Picado. I have no idea. No chat, obviously. Per usual, not many people, if anyone, is in the Picado chat. But yeah. Once again, that's where you're going to see me. You know, all the links in the bottom. Check out the links in the bottom. Check out how I'm making these guys. Like how I make them. That'll be on my Instagram. And I think that's pretty much it. So, once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and, you know, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later. Oh, that's my alarm going off.